Tash Peterson, otherwise known as Vegan Booty, who will be talking to us about her experience within animal rights and direct action.
Throughout my 4 years of being vegan, I have witnessed a significant increase in veganism worldwide. We now live in a time where there is an abundance of vegan products flooding in supermarkets, restaurants, and even fast food chains. This year, Australia has hit its lowest consumption of animal flesh in 25 years. Veganism is not increasing by itself. This is only happening because of animal rights activists taking direct action. Direct action has been used throughout history to create social change, and it is absolutely necessary to achieve animal liberation. Disruptive protesting and civil disobedience are the most powerful types of activism, as they generate media attention and reach millions with the animal rights message. However, direct action does not have to involve being disruptive or breaking the law. The Martin Luther King Jr. Center defines direct action as the strategic use of non-violent tactics to bring an oppressor party into dialogue. It is a moral force to counter injustice. It has been described by Professor Sidney Taro as the strongest weapon of social movements because it generates attention, broadens the circle of debate, and inspires participation in action. You can get involved in direct action by joining your local Anonymous for the Voiceless, the Save Movement, and Direct Action Everywhere groups. Using your skills, interests, and talents to your advantage in activism will ensure for you to be a sustainable and effective activist. You do not have to rely on a group action to do activism. It is easy enough to get out there and just do it yourself. Some direct action ideas include starting a discussion table about animal rights, giving away free vegan food, postering and stickering animal rights messages in public areas, or standing with a sign outside or inside places where animal cruelty is sold. All forms of activism are essential and interlink with one another. For example, activists who break into farms and take footage of animal slavery, for example the Dominion documentary, can be used by disruptive activists. Those activists will disrupt and expose the footage by urging people to watch Dominion and gain media attention to reach thousands of people with the message. Those who see the articles will become aware of their message, and a seed is planted in their mind. Later on, they may stumble across an animal rights message on a poster or even an outreach activist to have a discussion about animal rights, and another seed is planted. Each and every one of us have a very important role to play in being a voice for non-human animals. Language is incredibly important when speaking about animal rights, and we should be using accurate terminology so that people understand the severity of non-human animal oppression. By definition, non-human animals are being subjected to rape, abuse, torture, and slavery, and the mass murder of them is most definitely a Holocaust. There are many vegans who disagree with calling non-vegans animal abusers. However, I am sure you would call a child abuser, and a racist. So what is stopping you from calling animal abusers what they actually are? The more confident and aware I have become about my use of language as an activist, the more effective and impactful I have found my protesting to be. When I have used accurate terminology such as animal holocaust and animal abusers, I have been quoted in media articles. For example, I recently protested against the fishing industry, and fish holocaust was quoted all over mainstream media. This wording is powerful as it creates awareness and holds non-vegans accountable to the mass suffering that they are participating in. I believe that every vegan has a moral obligation to speak up in one way or another about the animal holocaust. But unfortunately, a majority of the vegan population are not even activists. I'm sure if you saw someone slitting a pig's throat right in front of you, you would speak up. So I ask those of you who are not yet active, why aren't you speaking up for the trillions of beings who are being brutally murdered each year? It only takes a small group of people to create social change, and the animals are literally relying on us to speak up for them and make their suffering known. We need more people participating in direct action to achieve animal liberation. In fact, political scientist Erica Chenoweth has shown that it takes around 3.5% of the population consistently participating in disruptive protesting to result in serious political change. Chenoweth has studied hundreds of movements throughout history and confirms that civil disobedience is not only the moral choice, it is also the most powerful way of shaping world politics, by a long way. If every vegan decided that they would take consistent, direct action today, we would be significantly closer to creating massive social change in the world. It is possible for us to end the animal holocaust and see animal liberation in our lifetime. The change is within you right now. You have the power to create positive change for non-human animals today. The animals are screaming for their lives right now, in this moment. They need you to speak up. They cannot take action for themselves, and we are their only hope. Together we can create a world where all animals live with equal rights to live their lives free from enslavement, torture, abuse, and murder. I will conclude this speech with a quote by Margaret Mead. Never underestimate the power of a small group of committed people to change the world. In fact, it is the only thing that ever has.